This morning, it's United's turn to show us what they got for the regional transborder flights. These popular flights provide a quick option for passengers to get between Canada and the States, and it gives us a chance to check out part of the airport I've never been to. That is, if we can find the end of this never-ending hallway. Good morning and welcome to another video, and welcome to the first flight of 2025. I hope you had a wonderful, safe, and happy new year. To kick things off, we'll be flying with United on a transborder flight from Toronto down to Chicago. So we'll see how United services this popular line. Also, this gives me a chance to check out the transborder area of Terminal 1. Terminal 1 in Toronto has been open for 20 years and I've never been to the transborder side, so there's lots to do today. Flight is set to depart at 9 a.m, so come along as we go from A to B.
The train is arriving at Terminal 1. For trains to the city, please follow the signs on the platform for the Up Express station.
Le train arrive à l'aérogare 1. Pour les trains vers le centre-ville, veuillez suivre les panneaux.
Please.
Well, I made my way to the other end of Terminal 1 to start to make our way to the EU. I mean États-Unis. The F gates are dedicated to transborder flights, and this airport is quite lively at the early morning hours. Terminal 1 is predominantly used by Star Alliance carriers, which means the F gates are dedicated to Air Canada and United. With a 9 a.m. departure time, I didn't have to get here super early, but 3 hours is the recommended time to clear security and US preclearance. And as it turned out, I was living life dangerously, arriving 2.5 hours prior to departure. First up, of course, is check-in. I ran into an issue with the United app. Apparently the app concatenates the first and middle name, so when it came to checking in via the app and uploading my passport photo, it produced an error, rendering the app useless for check-in procedures. At least for me. Let me know if you had a problem with the United app when it comes to checking in. This first middle name issue tends to be a problem with airlines in Asia where middle names aren't so common, so I was surprised to see this problem with United. Now, onto the funnest part of the airport, American passport control. The general rule of thumb is to complete check-in, security, and passport control ASAP before doing any side missions. Today I was cutting it close and took 90 minutes waiting after security for the passport check, leaving a mere 10 minutes to reach my gate. I wasn't terribly worried though, it wasn't like I was the only one who was cutting it close. With time not on my side, we don't have too much time to explore here or even grab a morning coffee. But after passport control, you'll find a selection of shops and services. Surprisingly, the transborder part of Terminal 1 is very, very spread out, probably the largest part of the airport, but has a lot of dead space. We are departing from gate F97, and it's away from the main terminal building, down this long, nondescript hallway. It kind of stops looking like any semblance of an airport, doesn't it? We eventually reach the end, and we're greeted with a duty-free kiosk, and it opens up to an actual terminal building. Didn't even know this existed. It's like a hidden corner of Terminal 1. There's even a small maple leaf lounge for those having enough time, and there's a Starbucks and some places to grab a bite or drink. And here's our 737, which will take us over to Chicago. Air Canada and United are of course members of Star Alliance, but they share a stronger agreement than other members. Flyers with status of either airline get additional benefits, such as higher boarding zone, and those who have status with Air Canada are treated to Group 2 boarding with United. And you know what? I'll take it. As we walk down the jet bridge, I'll take a moment to welcome new viewers to the channel and invite you to subscribe for continued travel and aviation related content. Today we'll be seated in 32F, and I finally had a moment to catch my breath. Phew. Today we're on one of United's 737-800 aircraft, one of 141 in their fleet. This variant of the 737 contains 166 seats over 2 classes, and there's 3 lavatories on board. Our aircraft is 18 years old, and was first delivered to Continental and flew with them until the two airlines merged back in 2010. It's an hour and 15 minutes to reach Chicago on the other side of the Great Lakes. United 737 Economy class is laid out in your standard 3-3 seating configuration with dark blue seats and dark blue light fixtures. Depending on the aircraft, there's a slight difference in the economy layout, which is simply how many rows are dedicated to Economy Plus, United's preferred economy seating, ranging from 7 to 9 rows. Regardless, there's a 4-row business class in a 2-2 configuration at the front, and the number of seats in total remain the same. These blue seats have a blue antimacassar with the controls for the IFE system in the armrest. Turning towards the seatback, it has the IFE display on top, which is adjustable, but requires more force than the person in the seat in front would probably prefer. Below is the literature pocket, which contains a credit card promotion, United Bistro's menu, and safety card. And under that is a table and seat pocket. Seat pitch is 30 inches, and you'll get 4 more in Economy Plus. There is no power outlets for economy passengers, and I was very surprised by this. You need to be seated in Economy Plus or better to get some juice. And above you have access to the reading light and air control. Overall, the seat did its job this flight, though the lack of a power outlet would not be ideal on a 3+ hour flight, especially if you intend to use the streaming service. United Airlines provides Wi-Fi on their flights. Plans for Transborder, domestic, and flights within North America are $10 for non-members, with a 20% discount for Mileage Plus members. Happily, they do provide a complimentary texting plan, which worked well and includes Line. I also suggest to download the app of the airline to enjoy the features. In particular, the bag tracker is something I look forward to put my mind at ease. United provides a decent in-flight menu. It appears more developed than what I saw on American a year ago. I was surprised to find out that they offer a completely different menu for domestic and North American international flights. Meals are offered on flights longer than the oddly specific 1,190 miles. The menu states these drinks are available on all flights. However, this is not the case, as our options this morning were water or orange juice. I guess that morning coffee will still have to wait. Luckily, I thought ahead and I brought my Starbucks lemon loaf, which I got the day before. When it comes to the IFE system, United provides live TV with a large selection of channels. However, the system was unreliable as service was interrupted intermittently. Furthermore, the screen isn't touch sensitive, so you have to use the arm control. For my seat, the down button wasn't working, so I'd have to loop all the way through, and I just kept it on the moving map for the duration of the flight. The system is old and tired and not very reliable. There is, however, the in-flight streaming service to devices, and this provided a much better experience, and my preferred avenue to enjoy a movie or TV show. And just over an hour, we start to make our descent into Chicago. For a regional flight, it's not bad and it gets the job done. I would have liked to see a bit more of a service on this flight. I mean, Japan Airlines can crush out a drink service on a 777 from Tokyo to Osaka, so it should work here. I know, it's not the same, but still. Even having coffee would be a step up. American even provides Biscoff on the same route. The cabin is dated and showing its age, with the IFE controls not working as intended, so a refurbishment of the interior on these older planes is in order. There are many flights between these two cities with many airlines to choose from, so consumers have some choice. In particular, it's easy to code share on either of the Star Alliance carriers. So if you are looking for in-seat power, a newer interior and IFE system, the A220 may be a better option. Of course, if you have a connection like me, choosing a particular flight is not always easy. I would like to try United on a longer flight where the Bistro menu is in full swing and to get the full United experience. But that's going to have to wait another day. That front business class is also on my list. This was a one-way ticket from Toronto to Tokyo via Chicago, and the price came out to $1,144. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on United's regional transborder service, and I'll catch you in the next video.